What is up? This is The Movie Show. My name is Sash, and today we are talking all things Stranger Things and how it's going to end, which means there are lots of spoilers ahead. But in order to figure out the end, we have to first go back to the beginning of the beginning. Did you know?
Not that long after season 1, Netflix mentioned that Stephen Daldry was interested in doing a play of Stranger Things. And we're like, wait, what?
We'll get this today. Netflix said they're premiering a Stranger Things play.
This play is awesome.
Called Stranger Things: The First Shadow. And the whole storyline is centered around Henry Creel.
The First Shadow is the Stranger Things play.
It's a prequel that's set in 1959.
It's about all of these characters from the show.
It's the origin play. We see a little bit of the start of this story, really explaining the backstory to Henry, also known as Number One, also known as Vecna.
Henry Creel is introduced, but without powers. He was a normal child. He then goes away with his family to Nevada into a cave. A cave. And in the cave goes missing for 12 hours. And during that time, it is believed that he goes to a place called Dimension X. And then when he returns, he's no longer the same person. He's infused with powers.
He meets Patty, who is the sister of Bob Newby. It's both a love story and also, of course, because of Stranger Things, a supernatural story.
Patty Newby is the adopted sister of Bob Newby, who died in season 2. Patty Newby meets Henry Creel and falls in love with him. And she's not scared of him the way everyone else is scared of him when she finds out that he has powers. So she then asks him to help her find her blood mother. Things go wrong, the mind flare takes over, and the play eventually gets to the point where Dr. Brenner gets involved. He ends up taking Henry's blood, takes a whole lot of pregnant women and does a blood transfusion where he puts Henry's blood into them, which is the reason why a whole lot of children are born with powers, which is exactly what he did to Eleven's mom. So back to how is Stranger Things going to end? Well, there are lots and lots of theories. Some people are speculating that Mr. Watson is the last good part or the last part of Henry Creel because the mind flare has taken him over. And so he's actually going to assist them in taking down the mind flare. One of the most interesting theories is, if you remember at the beginning of season 4 when they were playing D&D, Erica had to throw a 20 on the D20 dice. And she did. And as a result, in that campaign, they defeated Vecna and won. Well, if you now look at how things have worked out now that Will has Vecna's powers. 11 is number 11. We know now that 8 is back. What is 11 plus 8? 19. And if Will has Vecna's powers, Vecna was 1. 19 plus 1 equals 20. So the speculation is it's going to take all 3 of them to defeat Vecna. Who's going to die? People are speculating that Will and 11 have the highest chance of dying because either 11 might sacrifice herself, or if Will's powers are connected to Vecna and the whole Upside Down, if you destroy the Upside Down in Vecna, then that kind of takes Will with them. But there might not be a death. Some people are saying there might not be a death because there doesn't need to be a death. Hopefully there's not a death. But my favorite theory, it doesn't necessarily tell us how everything's going to end up happening, but it's a very, very good theory because it takes something from season 5 that could just be seen as like a simple Easter egg, but it could also be something that is much deeper. And that is the whole speculation of time travel. We all know how much the Duffer Brothers love the film Back to the Future. In fact, they even included it in season 3 when the kids go to the movies and Robin and Steve are high. Yep, they're watching Back to the Future, right?
Great Scott!
Great Scott!
How long has that light been red?
Oh, I don't know.
The fuck's flux capacitor's down again.
Is that bad?
I mean, it could be. It's fixable, but it's a two-man job.
Which Robin just made up, obviously. But that flux capacitor is the very thing that in Back to the Future, the Doctor uses for time travel. In fact, it's the reason they are able to time travel. If we look deeper into season 5, we know that episode 2 of season 5, the date is November 3rd. Then as we watch, we see that a day passes. So now we're on November 4th. When was the day that Will was taken? November 6th. That was also the day that 11 opened the gates. In Back to the Future, when was the day that time travel was created? November 5th, which will line up exactly with the bridge, which is one of the episode's names, referencing the Einstein bridge that Mr. Clark is talking about while he's teaching in a class, which has a similar shape to the shape that Will drew in the barn, which also happens to look like the Mind Flare. So with everything that's about to culminate on November 6th, which is the day where Will went missing, the day that the Upside Down is stuck in, the day that 11 opened the gates, is it all possibly connected? And do they maybe need to go back to the future to solve everything? So good luck to everyone as they watch the finale of Stranger Things Season 5.
The end.